I was dealing with a married man, and that married man is Christian rapper Jalen. He had threatened to break my jaw when he got angry with me. I did not want to make this video because exposing his sin means I need to take accountability for my own. But at the same time, if I don't say something, there could be more women who fall into the same trap as me. We had been getting to know each other for 4 months before he ever disclosed to me that he was still legally married. When I say getting to know each other, I don't mean a text here and there. I mean literally being on the phone anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day for multiple months. After he told me he was married, he then retracted that statement and said that he wasn't married.
Bro, what you mean? I hear you. What does that mean?
Court records prove there's no way he could have known he wasn't divorced because he hadn't even responded to his divorce yet. So there's no way you can be divorced if you didn't respond. He then finally took accountability and said, I'm legally married, but we've been separated, so we're spiritually divorced. This is where I messed up. I was supposed to leave, but I was disobedient to God. I cared more about my flesh. I cared more about being in love. I thought I could just wait and it would be perfect. No, I was completely disobedient. And my disobedience caused for me to have to pay for it. And I also believe God even took me through that because I was a very prideful Christian during that season. I thought I was untouchable. Oh, I can't sin. How do you guys sin? You guys don't love God. Why can't you be obedient to God? And then my flesh was tempted and I failed. And I was brought through it because I remained disobedient. And everything in my life was falling apart because I lived in disobedience. I was in my big Israelite season. And what makes this even worse is during that entire time, he was always talking to other women and he would use Jesus as a way to pull them in. I'm a man of God. He would pray for them and he would never disclose to these women who were building feelings for him that he was married. Once I did leave, the night that I left, he got very aggressive with me. He was threatening me again. I called the police to make sure that I was able to leave the apartment safely. I called the police because a month prior he had threatened to break my jaw when he got angry with me. And I was not willing to take that risk to see if he was going to be a man of his word. I went and booked a hotel somewhere which was paid for by one of the women that he was dealing with because she had been lied to as well. She felt bad for me because she knew I was fully dependent on him. And I thought, okay, if I at least go to this hotel, I don't have to see him. I can just start getting out of this situation. Next morning, I went to a job interview and he showed up in the parking lot at the job interview and told me he would follow me everywhere. I was absolutely terrified. I went upstairs and the receptionist told me that my brother Jay had come to the office that morning and he was looking for me because he wasn't able to get in contact with me. That increased my fear, to say the least. When I left the interview, I went back to my car and he was in the parking lot across the street waiting for me. When I left, he followed me. I got to a stoplight. He rammed into the back of my car twice and then followed me on a high-speed chase on the highway for 45 minutes. Even after all of that violent nonsense, some weeks later, he told me he was divorced.
That stuff is, I have my decree right here, like literally it's just in my lap, literally it's on my lap.
Again, that was a lie because there's no way that you can have a divorce decree if your hearing gets canceled. I already know what he's gonna say to this video. He's gonna say that I'm lying. He's gonna say that we were never in a relationship, which we couldn't have been, obviously, because we were married. He's gonna say that, he left before the police came. He's gonna say he was joking when he was threatening me. He's gonna say that all he's, done is supported my career and cared about me and all these things. And he's gonna say everything that I'm just saying is a blatant lie. But the reality is, if a man is going to lie about his marriage, what else would he lie about in order to save his platform? So I literally have nothing to gain from this. This is quite honest, pretty embarrassing. But I lived in disobedience by being in that situation, and I would be continuing to live in disobedience if I did not listen to God and speak on this situation because he told me there's somebody who needs to hear this. So I just pray that none of God's daughters have to go through what I went through. And I also pray that God changes Jay's heart, that he radically shifts him into living in truth and honesty, and that more than anything, he just calls him to repent.
Doing none of that, fam. I'm taking accountability, so if you expect that on my page right now, you can leave the video, fam. That's not how we doing this. Like, I am hurt. I'm hurt that I hurt somebody. I'm hurt that I hurt people. I'm hurt, but I'm not gonna respond out of that either. I know you guys probably seen the video the young lady posted, which was my former assistant. And if I'm being honest with you all, during that time, I was going through a divorce, my first time getting divorced. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what that looked like. Mind you, I was the one getting divorced. I'm getting paperwork sent to me. You know, I'm reading over the paperwork, and the paperwork says that if you don't respond, then it's going to default, right? And it's going to go onto the other person. So I'm assuming, okay, everything's cool. Within 30 days, cool, I'll be divorced. I didn't know that it was a whole process. So during that time of separation and divorce, yes, I dated. But it never got to a point where I let certain people cross the lines and boundaries, because I know as a man of God, if I'm still in covenant with one of God's daughters, I shouldn't step out of that. And honest, after I found out that I was still in covenant, I had to set boundaries with certain people in my life. And she was one of those people. Coming into my life, I didn't assume that she would catch feelings for me, right? And I know I probably rubbed her the wrong way. I gave her the wrong intentions, and I apologized again. And I'm apologizing now, you know what I mean? Because that was never my intent. But as time progressed, yeah, I did begin to grow feelings. I did begin to care about her more. You got to think about it. I'm in a vulnerable place. I'm in my mid-20s. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting out of a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Getting out of a relationship that I've been married in for like 5-6 years. And like, she's showing that she cares for me. Of course I'm going to be there for you. If you show me you care for me, I'm going to show you I care for you. So yeah, I let her stay at my spot. I let her stay in the living room. You know what I mean? We created boundaries even there. And some of those boundaries were crossed. And that led to us getting into arguments. That led into us getting into fights, saying things to each other that we didn't mean. One of the days, yes, I did tell her I would hit her out of anger. It was a moment of my weakness. I was weak in that moment, and I did respond like that. But I promise you, I never hit her. I would never put my hands on a woman. And I feel sick to my stomach, even thinking about the thoughts of that. I have repented. I have seeked God. The people that have shown me that they have genuine intentions, I have seeked them. I've seeked leaders. I've had leaders leave my life because of it. It's cool, right? But when I decided to end that relationship last year, I'm glad God did that, because I'm able to be at the feet of God, be at the feet of Christ, and learn about myself. And I'm still working on stuff. That's why I talk about it in my music. I'm vulnerable. I have nothing to hide from anybody at all. I wish her the best in what she's doing. I wish her the best in her career. I apologize once again to every woman of God. That's not how all men of God are. I didn't represent Christ right in that moment, in that time. I've been working on it. That's not how I move. Doing none of that, fam. I'm taking accountability. So if you expect that